Hello, I'm Terry Clemens, Executive Director of the National Consumer Reporting Association, and welcome to our Man on the Streets Credit Education video series. Founded in 1992, NCRA represents the specialty consumer reporting agencies that provide the credit reports required by mortgage lenders and property managers for making residential lending and leasing decisions. In these videos, you'll not see professional actors, but random Americans visiting iconic destinations with credit reporting and scoring questions. The answers are provided by NCRA members, each of whom have experience ranging from 15 to more than 40 years of employment in the consumer reporting industry. Without further ado, let's hit the streets and hear what these consumers want to know.
Hi, I'm Andrew Berman from the Mortgage News Network, reporting from Times Square, New York on behalf of the National Consumer Reporting Association. Got my friend Cassandra here. Cassandra, you have any questions about credit?
I do. Who has access to my credit report? Are there laws to protect it?
So as far as access goes, legitimate, permissible purposes with a variety of industries and financial institutions, for example, would be a great way to answer that question. Maureen, I'm going to turn it over to you so that you can perhaps talk about the laws as well.
That's right. The Fair Credit Reporting Act calls out really specific reasons when and who can access your credit report. So for example, if you apply for a car loan or an auto loan, the lender, the bank or the credit union will draw your credit report and make a credit decision based on that information. The law is the Fair Credit Reporting Act, and back in 1970 that was enacted specifically to get some rules around credit reporting, who has access, how long that file information is in the credit report, and how those lenders or insurance companies, or even in some cases employers, use the data.
That's great. Another noteworthy point of interest is that not in every transaction is consumer permission actually required.
That's right.
For pre-screening, for example, permission is not required. Now, the lender doesn't actually see the report itself, but what the lender knows is that the underwriting criteria has been met. If a pre-screen has been approved, if you will, the consumer must receive a firm offer of credit.
That's right. And just to be clear, a pre-screen is that stuff we get in the mail, pre-approved credit offer, right? So that's the stuff that you can either turn off or turn on.
We all as consumers can opt out of that pre-screening process by going to optoutprescreen.com.
That's right. And another great thing, every one of us are consumers. We all have access and permission to see our own credit report. You can go to www.annualcreditreport.com and get a copy of your own file. And I would suggest do it before you apply for a loan, a mortgage loan, a student loan, an equity line, so that you know what's on there before you actually are applying.
I agree 100%, especially if you're going for a major purchase, such as a home or even a car, for example. The FCRA was actually amended a number of years ago, and with that amendment, they required that the actual credit bureaus, TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax, provide one free copy per year of that credit report.
That's right, and they got together and did that website, so it was one place for folks to go, www.annualcreditreport.com. There's also a wealth of information on that website for consumers to ask and look up questions.
Don't be fooled though, there are other sites out there that you can get confused because they claim to be free, and that's not always the case, so make sure it's annualcreditreport.com.
That's right, and just real world stuff. Folks who have access to your file are your banks or credit unions, the lenders that you are applying for credit with. Those who are the folks that have access. In almost every case, you give permission with the exception of the pre-screen. And then they don't actually see it. They have to give you a firm offer of credit, and then if you fill that short application out, that's when they'd actually see the credit report. And don't forget, go to annualcreditreport.com and get a copy of your file.
I hope you enjoyed that video and it helped you understand more about the consumer reporting industry. Thank you to the NCRA Education and Compliance Committee members who worked very hard to produce this video series and also events all year long for NCRA members to help them be better stewards in the consumer reporting industry. A special thanks goes out to Jackie Dryzak and Maureen Devine from Strategic Information Resources, who provided the answer to that question. A special thanks also to the professionals of the Mortgage News Network who produced this video series. If you're a property manager or a mortgage lender and would like to obtain consumer reports from one of the industry's best providers, go to ncrainc.org to locate a member near you.